Hi, I'm Samantha Maserati, and I want to talk to you about vitamin D deficiency. So many people are struggling with vitamin D deficiency. In fact, according to a lot of medical studies today, vitamin D deficiency is quite possibly the top deficiency that we have in America. So I worked in the medical field for 10 years. I specialized in high-risk OBGYN, and I worked with one of the top GYN surgeons in America. And what I found was not only was I deficient in vitamin D, but a lot of my patients were very low or suffering from vitamin D deficiency. So I happened to be very lucky that I had a doctor that was knowledgeable about vitamin D. And a lot of doctors brush it off. You know, we think of vitamin D as like vitamin C, vitamin A, and we're actually getting it from our foods. But that's not really the case with vitamin D. There's trace amounts of vitamin D in foods. So if you're trying to optimize your vitamin D levels, you're not going to do it with food. The number one source where we actually make vitamin D is from the sun. Now, most of us bathe ourselves in sunscreen, so that blocks the process of us making vitamin D3. So what is vitamin D? Right? What is it responsible for? It's really responsible for supporting a healthy immune response. Also, it helps tremendously with inflammation in the body. And I'm not talking about like, oh, I'm inflamed, I have a cut on my arm. I'm talking about internal inflammation, what we get from smoking, from our foods, certain foods that are toxic to us. Stress, anxiety, all of this causes inflammation in the body, and vitamin D is actually really crucial for helping inflammation. Also, a big one is hormone balance. So here's the thing about vitamin D. Vitamin D is not just a vitamin, it's actually a prohormone. It's responsible for so many hormone-producing reactions in your body. So if you're riding low or you're deficient in vitamin D, you can have some serious consequences in your future. Research has shown that the vitamin D deficiency is actually linked to all cancers now. Breast cancer, prostate, thyroid, colorectal, rectal, lung cancer, the list goes on, right? If you're suffering from hormonal imbalance, like polycystic ovarian syndrome to ovarian cysts, heavy periods, painful periods, or for men actually lowering testosterone, that's all correlated with a vitamin D deficiency. If you're having, changes in mood, like emotional ups and downs, depression or anxiety, that can all be related to a vitamin D deficiency. So when we think of vitamin D, we think of bone health, right? So it's so important for bone health because when you start to optimize in your vitamin D, you're now actually absorbing calcium. And you want that calcium to be directed into the right places. And here's what brings me to my next vitamin, which is vitamin K2. All right, vitamin K2 is the calcium director. So vitamin D3 and vitamin K2 go hand in hand together, right? So vitamin D is responsible for absorption of calcium, and vitamin K2 actually takes the calcium and it directs it right into your bones and right into your teeth. You don't want the calcium to just absorb into your soft tissue, which can go into your arteries, your kidneys, your bladder, and in your joints. But the really amazing thing about vitamin K2 is actually it can dislodge the calcium deposits throughout your body and in your soft tissue. It can actually bring that into your bones and into your teeth. So vitamin D is a fat-soluble vitamin, which means you'd have to eat a fat in order to break down this vitamin. Now, a lot of people don't absorb it properly. Somebody that's suffered from vitamin D deficiency for so many years, I've tried so many supplements, and what I found was the best absorption quality is an emulsified vitamin D3. So I paired up with a research lab, and they do this process. And what they do is they actually take a fat base, which is sesame oil, and vitamin D, and they take both of them and they spin it in a big machine. So they actually micelize it down into very, very small particles. So it's not a pill, it's actually a drop, and it's a milky looking drop because it's been emulsified. It's a dairy-free, gluten-free product. You take one drop and it's 2,000 international units. There's 700 drops in the bottle. So if you take a drop and you swallow it, it absorbs immediately into the small intestine. Now, a lot of manufacturing companies do not synthesize sufficient vitamin D3 because it is a very expensive process. So I'm able to get it. I wanted to get it to you guys because it's so awesome. So the reason why I have a blue cow as my brand is because I love what cows represent. They represent abundance, new beginnings. They feed the world. They're maternal. And it's something that I wanted to represent for myself, as a nurturer. The purpose behind Boo Blue is really to get the awareness out about vitamin D deficiency and how important it is to get your blood levels checked. I also just really wanted to provide a product that was safe, effective, and super affordable. This product will last you a whole year. How do you know if you're deficient in vitamin D? You have to go to your doctor and ask for a vitamin D blood test. Go get your levels checked and start optimizing.